Hey, this is your sister, and I'm here to show you how to knit on a loom. First thing you gotta have is your lipstick, because you know you can't do anything without your lipstick. Or if you do it without your lipstick, it ain't done right. The next thing you're gonna need is a loom. You can buy them at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Joann's Fabrics, that sort of place. The next thing is this little gadget that's got a pointed end, and you can use that to go right into the groove on the side of your loom to help you get your loops over. All right, you'll also need some yarn. And I got this big old piece of yarn, and to make a scarf I probably only need 2 of these. Now, the fancier your fabric is, or your yarn, fancier your fabric, fancier your yarn is, the more skeins you're gonna need. So we're gonna start out simple. First thing I do is tie a knot in the very end of the yarn. That keeps it from fraying, won't make a mess. The next thing I do is I create a little loop. You see there's a hole in there. With that loop, I attach to the loom. Now this little extra tail right here, I just wrap around that end point and kind of stick my finger on top of it, and that keeps it in place until I do with it the next thing that I want to do. Alright, let's get started. The first thing you do is wrap again around this loom, this little prong right here. Right after you wrap around that prong, you go to the opposite prong, opposite of that first one. Okay, so I'm going to call this prong number 1, this prong number 2. Okay, so all my odd prongs are going to be on one side, all my evens on the other. Prong number 1, prong number 2. Once you make your little figure 8 around those 2 prongs, then you go to the left of prong number 3 and to the right of prong number 4, and look, you've got another 8. That makes 16. Then you're going to go around all the prongs all the way down to the end of your loom. Now, if you don't want your scarf to be so thick where you think it's going to choke you, you don't have to use all the prongs. You could use 2/3 of them or such. Alright, now I am clear to the bottom of my prongs. Alright, so this would probably be prong number 23 and 24, or vice versa. I can't remember now which side I'm on. But anyway, you're going to go around this prong one more time to where you have 2 now right there. And then you're going to go opposite of that one and make your figure 8 one more time. Then you're going to follow suit all the way back up your loom. So basically what you're going to have is figure 8s on top of figure 8s. Wow, don't you know that would be a hard thing to skate on. Anyway, you're going to go all the way back to the very, very top. Uh-oh, and this might happen. It might all fall off of there, and you kind of just got to go back to where, it's finally on one prong and just start right back up again. Once you do that and you are at the top, you can take yourself a little loop right around here. You can unsecure that one that was dangling, right? You're going to lay it right down the middle of your loom and push all the threads down to the bottom. All right? Now, you're secured up here with your strand of yarn, right? So you're not going to lose that. Now's the time for the gadget. You take your little gadget and you hook that very first loop that you put on your loom, up and over the peg to where you only have one little loop there now. And what you're going to do is you're going to do that all the way down this left side, going into that groove, pulling those loops up and over, yeah, all the way down to the bottom. Now it's going to look kind of a little loose there, and you're going to think, I don't know if that is exactly the way I want it to be, but I promise you it will turn out to be just fine. Now sometimes both the loops are going to want to come off of there, and you're going to have to be careful to hold that top one on and keep it on the peg, because if you don't, you will, I guess, drop a stitch. I don't know how to knit. That's why I'm doing it this way. But if you accidentally take both loops off and you don't know what to do, just put both loops right back on and go for it again, okay? Now we're going to go to the other side. This will be the right side. And we're going to do the same thing. Now, you know, I'm having to show you what I'm doing, and it looks a little awkward. I mean, I don't sit in my chair with my loom here up at my head. I really don't. I can lay back and hold it in front of me. I can almost lay down and do this. And you can too. You're going to be just as good as me at it. I promise you. Anyway, you're going to get all the way back up to the top of that loom. And when you do, you're going to push all of those little fibers down the middle of the loom, because your scarf is going to actually come out through that middle. And I'm having a little trouble with that one, but see, I got it in after all. All right, here I am at the very top. Now, remember I told you we were going to put this little dangly one, that little sharp one that we started with, right down the middle. Remember? Now, we're going to take our yarn off that little peg that was holding it for us, and we're going to start again with the same place that we started before. We're going to loop around and make a figure eight. Did you see that? Boy, that was quick. You better watch. Okay, we're going to do those figure eights all the way down, and we're going to get to the very bottom again. Let me just show you. I'm going to hold it up so you can see that here I am all the way down to the very bottom, right? And then I'm going to secure it right here on that end peg, and then I'm going to kind of hold it in my pinky right there, and that's going to keep that thread tight so I don't miss a stitch. Now, here we go again, right back up the side. Remember, you can hold this closer down to you so you can reach it better. But for now, I'm just showing you how to do it. And you go all the way up, looping those bottom loops up and over that top loop. And then you're going to have, when you're done with that, you will have your second row. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Just so you know, that is the way it's done. Now, next time, I will teach you how to cast off. Ooh, sounds exciting, huh? Have fun!